Okay, team. So we were able to put out a pretty fair warning yesterday with the, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that we were absolutely wondering of the potentials of coming back down to testing the areas that we had just kind of flown over, right? Specific to these zones right down here of the 206 to 203.99. You know, we got a massive bounce from that area there, and then we flew all the way up towards the zone of around 221.70 before experiencing this next downside all the way down here, and now getting very close to one of the bottom targets that we were talking about here, guys. So I did get a few comments. I did get a few inquiries regarding these downside targets. While I did mention that we could maybe even retest these lows here, the extended lows have always been there, but I didn't imagine that we could get down there today. And now today specifically to within the last 6 hours. And that, guys, this proceeds after a massive, massive down day in the in the S&P 500. So the overall markets, I mean, if I can put it to you like this, I am. Check this out. Okay, I'm gonna put on the daily time frame and switch over to the SPX, right? And I'm gonna show you, or even the SPY, right? It doesn't matter, but putting this chart up here and showing you what I'll just highlight it here so you could just I'll take a screenshot of it here so you can see what it is, right? So I'll paste it right here, and I'm gonna show you what today's drop looks like. So on the S&P, we did a minus 1.56% day today, guys. So that this is really big. Okay, so at 2%, that's usually when we get circuit breakers. You know, they'll halt the market at 2%, and just I guess so you can kind of understand what this did, because this affects everything. You know, this everything under the light of the sun, man. It really does affect it. Your daily average true range, usually the SPX can move up or down, right? On average, 94 points, $94. But today's price action, you know, this thing opened up at 67.38 and it closed all the way down to 65.38. So guys, that's 200 points. The SPX made like over 2 days of average true range in just today. Now, I mean, the curious thing is right now is that this thing is already bouncing. Actually, it just retraced. It was, you know, the S&P 500 E-mini futures contracts. They were at 65.94 after closing your prior day at around 65.57. So moving up over 30 points in the after hours is already like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to talk to you about, yes, let's go ahead and talk about XRP, but I also have to talk to you about the Tether dominance, because we are reaching that level, guys, that magical level. But before we do so, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, coming at you here at 9:53 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 20th. Spot price action, XRP sitting at 197.56 after experiencing a total low of around 195.56 out of the 195.01 that I had to this lower bound target. I'm not saying that I was right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just that we have the targets here set out, just in case we can take advantage of it one way or another, right? So I personally still think we can kind of hover in here. Can we break 191 or 190? Yeah, we could. But do I think it's likely? No, I actually don't think it's likely to break this down. It is possible, but I feel like we're near the floor, and there could be anything to mention, anything like literally anything can be mentioned here, and this thing would rip. for example, the jobs report, right, or jobs coming in, not so, they didn't come in bad, but I don't think they met expectations. So which is why the market's kind of sold off. And then also, I'm not sure if they're going to cut. I'm not sure if they're going to cut anymore into the Fed may not cut this 25 bip coming up. So this may actually force, right? Given the numbers of jobs, this now may force the Fed to cut a 50 bip in January. So there's, we had those two kind of negatives, right, before being presented, I guess, a positive, but not until the beginning of the year. So, and I'm not going to say that that's also what, I'm not going to say that that's completely what contributed to selling off. Like, I haven't seen a sell off like this in a while. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you that that's completely the issue there. But what I can tell you is this. Check it out. Let's move on to the USDT Tether dominance chart. And we're going to just remind ourselves over what that 7-month cycle is looking at on the exact candle that we're supposed to be on within the 2-week time frame. This is where we are, right? We are well within this pocket here. So this is the pocket of capitulation. So, we're talking about massive declines, starting with this right here, right? So you're starting right at that point there, and you have huge capitulation, right? So whenever the Tether dominance goes down, the risk on assets or risk on like XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, HBAR, all that stuff goes up, right? So as soon as this gives way, that could be a massive run. And I have also, you guys already know this, right? But I have ran the back test here of Ethereum against the USDT Tether dominance. And any time that those iterations have dropped like the way that we just saw in that triangle, you have these runs, right? You have these runs on Ethereum specifically, like huge upsides here. The last time this happened 7 months ago, right? We have an opening here of around 1595, topping out at around just almost $5,000. So that's the gravity of what this, what this thing can do. That was this iteration here. So look where we are. That's a bit of the optimism that I can actually spread here. So what does that mean for XRP? Well, it's precisely this. I have a feeling that we can correlate the 195.01 to 190.56 now, at least, to this 6.537 to 6.245% of the Tether dominance chart here. So let's keep that in mind, and potentially observe these lows to we're, like I said yesterday, right? We're at around near lows, but should it be possible that we can retest the lows again? Yeah, definitely. And the reason was it dipped way harder than I thought, but absolutely, one of those reasons was that having Nvidia and Amazon present great earnings beats and stuff like that created the market to inflate. So the market inflates, right, and then you leave a gap between the closing of the prior day and the opening of the next day. So that gap, there's an 80% probability of closing those gaps, right? So that's why there was that short-term upside, huge, massive gap up. And then sentiment takes over, right? Huge drop. And in order to close the gap of the prior day, but this was, I don't know how it fed a whole other day of lows. But this is still the working thesis here. I'm still thinking what we've talked about here, that your probable lows are around here, and I think that we may actually have an opportunity to see a shift here soon. Historically speaking, Novembers are pretty powerful, ending green for BTC and stuff like that. So let's just see what's up, guys. We can't remain bullish like the way that you think it should be. You have to remain cautiously optimistic, expecting further blood. You know what I mean? That's just the gravity of the truth here. But should you need any assistance, or I mean, ask me a question, guys. Anything, right? And guys, we're gonna be starting. I'm gonna be starting a massive blowout sale for the Black Friday event starting tomorrow. Unfortunately, things like Momentum 1 and your this data cells advanced, those items will not be included, but the courses are going to be included, and also the larger algorithms, those will also be included, some of those, right, in pairs and in clusters and whatever you want. Okay, guys. So maybe refrain from I mean, if you guys want to grab this stuff here, then that's always available, right? But also, all the classes and everything, guys, refrain from purchasing any of that stuff tonight, and maybe come back in tomorrow night or afternoon or something, and we'll have some deals ready here for you. Okay, team. But I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Just expect nothing but the worst here, right? If we can actually come back down to these areas, these are highly liquid for XRP. Should we reach, especially down to the 190.56 or 190.58 area down there, guys, we can really put together a potential buying situation here. There could be liquidity waiting for us there. You know what I mean, guys? Let's just be as smart as we can be. Do not enter or over lever into these positions so quickly. And I think I think everything will be okay. You know, trust me when I say that. I hear it everywhere. This is not the only Discord, right? Many other people are saying how, like, I'm not going to lie, guys. The market has been a very interesting one. And I've been trying to write a code, to figure out what's exactly happening, because it's killing the market is killing even some of the most, some of the most advanced traders that I know today. So, and usually speaking, right, when things happen like this, we should probably consider just kind of either backing off, staying cash, or learn the market by really sizing down and see about how these short-term opportunities may be the better ones for now, right? Long-term bags, sure, we're at the lows right now, right? So maybe, but also, right, remain very cautious with that too. If you're adding, but guys, we're below $2 on XRP. That's an okay thing. All right. So, team, remember, I'll never, ever reach out to you. I'll never friend request you first. I'll never greet you when you're coming into the Arca Bulls trading team. It's just not like that. Okay, guys, if somebody's reaching out to you with the name of Arca and saying, hey, how are you? That's not me. All right, team. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and continue the, right now, literally right now, as we have the trading team here in Discord kind of watching this live, and I'm going to go ahead and continue the market prep and now. All right, team. Well, thank you so much, and we'll speak very, very J Scary Larry later. All right, team. Adios, and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot have you guys buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be good. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the Bell Mañana. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.